keep it simple and easy, because the more you keep it simple and stick to the basic foundation, it is easy for you to grow your business.
Hello, and welcome back to the podcast Biz on the Brain with your host, Annemarie, where we are talking about how to be your most and truest and authentic, unapologetic self in life and business, so you can preserve your energy, so you can attract the right kind of people, so you can just follow your soul and passion and be absolutely vibing and flowing and having a really good, productive, fulfilling life. Because I think that's the goal, especially as an entrepreneur. The lines between business and leisure time are pretty blurry, and if you make your passion into your hobby, then into your job, you want to kind of retain that excitement. And sometimes a hobby can turn into a full-time career and then actually can help people and change their lives. And in this episode, we're talking exactly that, how Kavitha Rajeevkumar started a chocolate business from her kitchen, realized it is a really lucrative niche, and that she can grow a business that she then scaled up and now helps other women, coaches them on how to be their own businesswoman, how to run a business, and all around chocolate. Because there's so many ways you can appreciate chocolate, make something with chocolate, sell chocolate, and be your own person, and then help your family, help your community, and then, first and foremost, help yourself achieve a dream life that you deserve. And without further ado, I let Kavitha speak for himself. Welcome to the podcast, Kavitha. Thank you so much for being here, because we had a cool conversation about chocolate and how you use it to change the world and empower women. And I love that concept. So introduce yourself, tell us how you do it.
Yeah, first of all, thank you very much for having me here on your podcast, and thank you, listeners. Well, I am based in India, and I started my chocolate business way back in 2008 as a home-based hobby kind of thing. That was after quitting my 9-to-5 job as a college lecturer, after trying some kind of freelance works, which was online, like online tutoring, editing, and proofreading, and those sort of things. I happened to see a neighbor who was making chocolate at her home and sending it across, even as far as Netherlands. And that quite fascinated me. And that was the first time I also gave a thought that I can make chocolates at home. Because till then I was thinking chocolates are made in factories. I happened to go and learn chocolate making. I tried it at home, practiced it for next 3 to 4 years. And after that, I decided to start my own chocolate business, but as a part-time, because he was a toddler. I had to take care of my family also. My husband had a transferable job, so I had to take care of my home and my kid. So that was how I decided, okay, I will do chocolate business. I started this online customized chocolate gifting service, and that was the time when I did this online. And in India, and especially in my part of the state, Kerala, nobody was doing e-commerce selling at that time in 2008. And this caught the attention of press and media, and I got immediate attention and free publicity and PR. And all of a sudden, without knowing, I became a celebrity chocolatier.
I love that.
And
but you also have a background in economics.
Yeah, I am an MBA in marketing and HR. I was teaching strategic marketing for the MBA grads. That was how my chocolate business got started, and I would call myself an accidental entrepreneur, because I didn't plan to become an entrepreneur. I just thought I'll do something sitting at home and also taking care of my baby. And all this publicity, and people started coming to me asking whether I can teach them how to make chocolates and help them start their own business. And so one thing after another, took me on this whole chocolate entrepreneurship journey, and I became a full-time chocolatier come chocolate coach, helping people learn how to make chocolates at home setup and also start their own patisserie or a home-based unit or even a small manufacturing facility, which is near to their home. Then I got like invitations from various places on talk about this chocolate entrepreneurship and skill aspects of this. Long story short, by 2019, like I was totally into this, helping especially women do this on chocolate learning and start the entrepreneurship because it is comparatively easier for working mother or a completely homemaker mother to start a chocolate business even as a part-time or a side hustle because that will fetch her a decent income. Post-COVID, like during COVID, my chocolate gifting service came to a total standstill, and that was when I turned into online coaching and consulting completely. And during that time, like I have been upgrading myself with the various, business development and personality classes and courses and programs and mentorship. That took me coming up with an academy kind of thing wherein I can help women, especially mothers and homemakers like me, who are completely sitting at home or who want to quit their job and do something sitting at home to take up this chocolate entrepreneurship because there are quite a number of possibilities with chocolate. It's not just make chocolate and sell. It is much beyond that. They can even come up with, say, for example, chocolate blogging, or they can write content on this particular industry, or there are other online opportunities existing in this. I started this academy wherein any woman can come even if she does not have any idea what kind of business she wants to start. So right from idea generation to sales, marketing, establishing the systems and processes, to finding repeat sales and customer service, like I help them with the business skills, what is required most to make any business successful. Because see, a lot of people start chocolate business, but or for that matter, any other food business, in their home base. But in the initial years, what they find is then they have the skill for making this product. In our case, the chocolate. But most of them lack the skills for taking their business to grow and scale it beyond five figures.
That's absolutely true. I think that's a struggle that a lot of freelancers and solopreneurs have, especially initially when you are driven by your passion, by your talent, and then you're so wrapped into it that it's hard to yank yourself out of your zone of genius and suddenly do the back end, do all of the boring cut and dry tasks like taxing, accounting, marketing, all of these skills. And there's a reason why stuff like that gets its own degree at university because it is very complex. There's a lot of rules, there's a lot of regulation, there's a lot of hurdles, and it's on purpose that it's also convoluted, so complicated to keep people out and to employ other people. But that means you have to have a certain amount of money and a privilege to actually get started. And so I love that you actually start from the ground up. You can start in your own kitchen. You can be mobile and get financial stability from a skill that so many women are already raised with, especially, in a society like in India, like you said, there's a lot of stay-at-home moms, and there's also a lot of dependency on the men of the households, and then the women have to deal with that. But now they have an option to further support their family or use something with the money for themselves or for their own future and center themselves and their kids. I think it's such a beautiful way to have more self-efficacy, to feel more fulfilled in life, and to have some more agency too. So I love that did you just really slide in, or has it always been a theme in your life that you want to help other people, especially women? Is it something that came up before that business even?
Not exactly, because I was just a normal girl from a middle class family, didn't have any big dreams. But then, like, I wanted to do something on my own. I wanted to make a name. I was not clear in what field because earlier my family and friends they thought I'll become a doctor. My teachers thought I'll get into civil services. I mean diplomatic services. After studying, I ended up in marketing, and I thought like I'll just get a job, be happy after getting married because that is what any normal girl, especially from Indian background, a dream or want. That was all. When I got into the job and got exposure and met people and you know met students, taught them these aspects of business, that was when I thought, okay, there is much more into this. But even then, I didn't have any idea, okay, what I really wanted or in which direction I should go. Post marriage, I had to quit my job because I conceived my son, and that was the time when see the societal setup is such a way that if you are not um, an earning member, if you are not contributing to uh, the daily running of the family, then your acceptance level is much less, almost zero. You have to listen to a lot of people, not only your husband, your parents, your in-laws, the, everybody, and even the secondary circle, the tertiary circle of your family. That was when I thought like, no, this is not what I want. I don't want to end up living according to somebody else's definition. I want to be me. There is something inside me which kept on telling me, no, Kavitha, this is not you. And uh, that made me think, okay, what can I do? Because I already quit. I tried getting back into the 9 to 5 job, but due to some reasons, it was not possible. So and moreover, like my child was very small, I didn't want him to be interested to any nanny or baby care. So I started thinking, okay, what else? What can I do so that I can establish myself in that? I can create a name in that particular area and at the same time make a conspicuous revenue and contribute to my family. Because I was craving for acceptance. I was craving for that, that respect and honor from these people. I hope you understand that.
No, I absolutely understand. You just wanted to create something of your own, something to be proud of,
Yes.
regardless of what other people tell you to, because you had this inner knowing. And that's also one of the big themes of this podcast. Just intuition, your inner compass, or whatever you want to call it. So, have you always had that voice? Have you always been intuitive, or was it just really getting louder and louder because you were so not in line with where you wanted to be in life, even if you didn't quite know what it was? You just wanted to do something other than look after a kid, which is a big task, but it's not everything that a woman should and could do.
Yes. Initially, I was not sure like what this inner voice or my higher self was trying to communicate to me. But then, as and when I proceeded with what I felt is right doing, that took me from one thing to another thing, and that gave me more clarity as and when I proceeded.
Yeah, it's the action, right? It's just trusting the next step without having to
Yes.
see the full picture.
Yes.
And then things just magically fall into place. Like when you said that you had this chocolate business and then suddenly COVID hit and you didn't have the chocolate business and success anymore. But then you just taught. And it basically is just the same thing, but in a different way. Now you're not doing the chocolate, but you're helping other people do the chocolate, but with a bigger business side to it, like more in depth, I would think. Natural progression. but you didn't like strategically map it out, I think.
Yes, during that time, during my 12 years of journey, I found out that there is a huge gap in the education sector and the journey to entrepreneurship or starting a business.
I think it's everywhere in the world, but yeah. How did you experience it in locally?
Yeah, see, I used to get these clients who came to me for learning chocolates. So they had tried, some had tried a lot of other things, and then they came to this. Some were totally new. Some were graduates, some were even postgraduates and working professionals who were not satisfied with what they learned and what they are practicing right now. I came across all sort of people, and they used to share their experience with me. And during these talks, I found out like, okay, there is lot of gap in areas. Especially like when I jumped into entrepreneurship, I myself faced lot of difficulties in getting the right kind of information and the guidance what was needed during that time, even if it was for whether what are the legal requisites that are essential for this particular industry, or like how can I really start an online business, or how can I do offline. So though there were departments for this, like the the real information was lacking. The sources for giving these kind of right information were missing during that time. Now it has improved much, but still there is a gap. That made me think, okay, Kavitha, like from my 15 years of experience, I have learned something. I have made mistakes. I have failed. I have got some wins. I know what works, what does not. So let me just share my experience and knowledge and expertise and help other women just like me who are, way behind me. I can at least, lend a hand and bring them forward. Let them travel with me in this journey of entrepreneurship.
I love that. And in another previous podcast episode, we had a simile. Basically, it's like you're on a bus, but you're already the bus up front, and the other was on the other bus. So you already learned something. You can teach them what the next place is going to be like, what the next step is. You don't have to be the end goal. You don't have to be the super millionaire has everything figured out. You don't have to be the guru, but you can still be in the process with them, but just teaching as you go along. And I think that's super important because you're not so far detached and removed, and you're still so much integrated into the community that you're still like see things as they are and see things as they need to be, as opposed to, just go to the university and sit in all of these lectures and then you know how to start a business. Like, no, you're just keeping it real, keeping it like practical.
Yeah.
Because I think that is a missing link that it is there in formal education, especially in education that is also a bit less accessible.
Yes. And even in the universities thing, and the incubation centers, one thing what I have noticed here is, at least in my country, is see, the business lessons are taught by uh, teachers or professors who have not done any business.
Yeah, so true. They just give you the theory, and then you want to start a business, and they haven't given you zero starting point.
Exactly. And I, being an MBA, I know that I have experienced that because I've been there also and I've been on this side also. So I know exactly like what we learn in theory is totally different from what we practice in the real world. So that is
Yep.
where my expertise and experience comes into play, and that is what I'm sharing with them. I never claim that I'm a big authority in this industry. Yeah, but yes, I've been able to help 2,000 plus members till now, and my secret mission is to help 1 lakh women start their profitable chocolate business and make a decent income, and form a community who in turn can go and help the rural women in uh, some remote area in my country.
Exactly, because it has this trickle down effect. And it is not just this one woman that knows now how to start and run a chocolate business and then help her kids and help her family, but it's the wider community. You're spreading knowledge, you're employing people, you're setting up a chain, you're using local resources, you maybe even, spreading a local product, maybe even globally at some point. It has a huge effect. It's not just super individualistic, but it is really changing the world in that way, right?
Yeah.
Instead of coming, like having a big company come in, build stuff, like destroy local common communities and infrastructure, you're just really organically building something.
Yeah, this is more sustainable. We are also contributing to the economy of this country.
Yeah, exactly. It's more ethical in a way. Like, nice.
And when a woman becomes financially independent, you know what? That whole her family escape in the sense her family gets better education, better standard of living, living standards improve, living conditions improve, lifestyle improve.
Absolutely. Yeah, and there's been enough studies done on that. If women are uh, gaining more financial independence, more agency, and on more literacy, it just overall helps the community and then the countries thrive much more. It helps development, and it just makes sense. If you're keeping everybody down and like shackled at home, like how's anything gonna grow? And it's just like it never made sense to me. This super patriarchal, very outdated system that somebody has to be the breadwinner and be like worn to the ground, just performing, and the other one has to be worn to the ground, like doing all of the manual labor at home, which is equally exhausting. But, everybody has their own passions and everybody has their own skills. And all of that could be so much more beautiful if there's more people involved in their own specific passion and the way you can work together and create community. Because, community is what humans are meant to do. Like, we're all communal animals in a bigger thing, right? We just like people with have other people and share the burden. Yeah.
Yeah, not only that, like we always talk about equality, right? In
Yeah.
in our society, if we have to become equal to men, see now there is an imbalance. If that equality has to come, then we have to help each other. We women have to help each other, and we have to lift them.
Yes.
We have to raise ourselves and lift other women also. Then
Yes.
probably there will come a day when we get that equal treatment.
Yeah. Because, there's also such a thing as internalized, shaming of, if you project on other women or you keep them down to keep yourself up in your status. And it's just so convenient. It's a classic divide and conquer, right? So if you don't want women to be equal, you just make them be mean to each other. So you can have some kind of perk within this patriarchal system, but it's still not the same as being equal, even if you have some perks because you're higher status or you're higher like social leverage, I don't know, or money. But yeah, it really comes down to being collaborative. And I think women are just mostly much more inclined to that, just to not see it as a competition, but to work together. It's just often that we're taught not to do that because, you want to fight over the man, you want to fight over the job instead of being like, we can also work together.
Yeah, of course. It's called, not only cooperation plus collaboration. So it is collaboration, collab plus cooperation.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I totally fiercely believe in collaboration and just really lifting each other up because there's always space, there's always potential. We're all so different. Even if you have all of these women, they all have a chocolate business. But yeah, like you said, they can make it their own. They could be suddenly writing chocolate copy and specialize in that, or they can look at different facades that make them more unique, like make it more pralines or make it more, I don't know, there's so many ways you can make it.
There are so many ways one can think of, not only like, you see, one can think of a chocolate bistro or a chocolate premium gifting service or a chocolate bouquet service, chocolate flower making, chocolate bar making. You can make chocolate for kids or healthy chocolates. You can go for vegan chocolate. There are a lot of people who have diet restrictions, so you can go for those type of chocolate. You can just provide chocolate drinks, and there are healthier options as well. Apart from this, like they nowadays the trend is you can give chocolate experiences, conduct tasting events, or you can even think of chocolate spa.
Yeah.
Chocolate yoga is also there.
Chocolate yoga. Tell me more. What is that?
But these are all various options available. Then you have, as I already mentioned, you can go for content writing in this particular industry, or you can do blogging only for chocolate recipes. So there are a lot of business models and business types available in this. These are just few that I have named. There are more than 43 types of business models one can think of.
I love that. And you're supporting women with that discovery as well, like entire process, because it is so much and it seems so big when you start your business and it just piles up. But I'm sure like you break it down. And are you more of the strategic kind of person? Are you more like a logical left brain person? Or do you also find you can merge it with the creative too? Like, is that your special skill?
Yes, I would call that a mixed person because my creative aspect plus the strategic aspect, not completely a logic person or a strategic person.
That's great. It makes also for a great teacher. Because like we said, like in university, it's so much is often so logical and clean cut and kind of not very practical and applicable in a real life scenario. And
Yeah.
what?
So I too have to balance my life, right? My personal and professional.
And how do you balance your own personal life? Do you also have people helping you out? Like, do you outsource your own stuff as well so you can keep showing up for all of these women? Like, how do you structure your own business?
Yes. See, as far as my personal life is concerned, like my family has, especially my spouse, has given me a lot of freedom to do what I want to pursue, and my son has also been very adjustable. So that way I'm very lucky in that aspect. And my uh, other family members have also been supportive. As far as my business is concerned, yes, it is it runs more like a solopreneur, but yes, there are jobs that I outsource it so that like I can get a lot of um, free time. Plus, I have automated lot of repeatable jobs
Hmm.
processes so that I can free lot of my time.
Yeah, automatic sequences and just making it more of a passive process is really great for scaling things up, right? And for
Yes,
just making technology and the internet work for you.
yes, it has been a boon for me.
Do you also use AI? Because
If
that's like
not,
the latest.
yes, of course, I do.
Really? How?
I use it to generate ideas, a framework, content also.
Yeah, that's smart because it's really good if you give it a specific prompt. It can just write so much so
Yes,
fast.
you can
Again,
save a lot of
especially
time.
yeah, especially if you're a busy stay-at-home mom running your own chocolate business, you want to be smart about it and don't burn out. Yeah.
Mm.
Oh my gosh, I love that. Is there anything else we haven't covered that you want to leave the audience with?
I don't know whether that will help. Like, see, as a part of giving back to the society, what I do is I have associated myself with other women uh, groups
Love that.
who have joined with Google India and other organizations through non-profit activities, which are again into entrepreneurship of rural women in my country.
And so there's all of these amazing women that you can meet in this Facebook group and talk and build a business together. So it is about collaboration and sharing information instead of gatekeeping it, right? I
Yes.
love that. So important. So yeah, everybody, if you're in India, if you who wants to grow a business or has questions, do check it out.
Not only in India,
Not only India.
across,
Okay.
yes,
Okay,
Anyway,
cool.
in the world.
Okay, forget what I said. Everybody, everybody go.
So if they need any guidance and support for launching, uh, growing the business as well as for scaling the business, they can get in touch with.
I love that. So yeah, like I said, the links are all down below. So do go say hi to Kavitha and any parting advice.
Yes, see, one advice what I would like to give here is a lot of people they make their business, the daily running of their business complex by making, by creating overwhelming themselves and overthinking and thinking that big things and complex things are required. But believe me, keep it simple and easy because the more you keep it simple and stick to the basic foundation, it is easy for you to grow your business.
That's true. Yeah, don't overwhelm yourself and don't make it more complicated. And also be mindful of the advice that people give you because sometimes they don't know what they're talking about. Sometimes it's not suited to you. So communities like the one Kavita created are so important to actually, get different perspectives in and then follow your own inner guidance.
Yes, yes,
Yes, I love
absolutely.
that.
That is there.
Thank you so much for taking the time to be here.
Thank you, Annemarie, for inviting me for this podcast. And I wish you all a lovely chocolate eating. Bye. Bye.
Thank you so much for listening in on this podcast episode. As always, I appreciate any feedback or commentary or thoughts you want to share with us. So do check out the links below, which are in the description and caption. And then you can follow Kavitha and I if you want to do that and learn more and join her community where you can network with other women around the world and learn more about how to be much more efficient in your business so you can really sit back and enjoy the fruits of your labor or maybe even the chocolate of your labor if that's what you want to do. And as always, there will be a new podcast episode next week. I can't wait to introduce to you what we're talking then, but if you want to pass the time and learn more about amazing women around the world, check out the previous podcast episodes. So with that, I'll leave you and wish you a fabulous day. Bye bye.